ಅಸುರಕುಲಕಾಲ ಶಶಿವದನ ರುಕ್ಮಿಣಿ ಸತ್ಯಭಾಮಾಲೋಲ.
We officially held our baby shower ceremonies on the 28th of May, which actually fell right on a weekday. For a bit of context, we are doing two major ceremonies today, the Valaikaappu and the Seemantham. In our tradition, the order matters immensely. You always perform the Valaikaappu first because it sets a festive, protective baseline for the mother before diving into the core religious Vedic rituals of the Seemantham.
And because we come from two completely different cultural backgrounds, with my family being Iyengar and her roots being Sourashtra from Madurai, the day was a beautiful mix of both of our family heirloom traditions. It made every single ritual feel so much more meaningful.
For this first phase of the morning, I wore a bright blue traditional Pochampalli sari. What made this morning so incredibly special was that two major powerful rituals were happening at the exact same time in the same room. On one side, the priests were performing the Udaga Santhi Homam. This is a highly revered Vedic ritual where water is purified through hours of continuous high vibration mantras.
Sound is considered a physical force in ancient science, and the belief is that the unborn baby absorbs these rhythmic, calming sound waves directly through the womb. So, while the mantras filled the room, my beautiful wife and our baby were just sitting back, listening, and soaking in all that protective energy.
Right while those mantras were echoing, my parents and in laws began the Valaikaappu bangle ceremony. Instead of just pretty glass bangles, the very first things they put on my wrist were the Kaapu, made of gold, silver, and actual green neem leaves. This isn't just for style, there is a fascinating ancient science behind it. The word Kaapu literally means to protect or shield. The neem leaf kappa acts as a natural physical antimicrobial barrier to ward off infections and symbolically chase away the evil eye. The silver kappa is traditionally used in Ayurveda to pull heat away from the body and cool the nervous system. And the gold kappa represents prosperity. My parents also gifted me beautiful gold bangles to add to the heavy stack. The constant gentle jingling of these bangles is actually meant to acoustically stimulate the baby's hearing in the third trimester.
Next up was the fun part, the traditional Valaikaappu guessing games. We hid different items under a closed banana leaf. To a global audience, this might just look like a fun baby shower party game. But in our culture, each of these ancient items act as a playful psychological prediction for the baby's gender, prosperity, or future path.
Let me break down what everything actually means because the folklore behind it is so cool. First, they have the Marapachi dolls, which are traditional wooden dolls. If you pick the female doll, it's a nod that a baby girl is on the way. If you pick the male doll, the elders cheer because it predicts a baby boy.
Then there's the Sang or the sacred conch shell and the seashells. In Indian history, the ocean is the birthplace of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and luck. Choosing seashells means the baby is predicted to bring massive financial stability and smooth, prosperous sailing into our household. Next are the intellect items, the book and the pen. Choosing a book means the baby will be a quiet scholar, a deep thinker, or a lover of reading. She ended up picking the pen, which symbolizes a creator, someone who executes ideas, a leader, a writer, or the author of their own destiny.
Finally, there's the Palade, which is that tiny traditional silver spout vessel used in South India for centuries to give newborn babies drops of medicine or milk. Picking the Palade is a beautiful symbol of thriving maternal instincts and robust health. So, looking at my combination, the male doll, the seashells, and the pen, the elders predicted a sharp, successful, highly creative baby boy who is going to bring a wave of prosperity with him. Now, we'll see what happens at the time of delivery.
Right after the games, we did a very specific, deeply emotional ritual called the Padi Arathi. Now, what's fascinating about this is that not every Iyengar family practices this. This is a unique heirloom tradition passed down specifically through my Iyengar lineage, and my family made sure we did it to welcome her and the baby fully into our ancestral line.
A padi is an ancient heavy brass measuring cup that our ancestors used for generations to measure out grains. For this ritual, the padi is filled to the absolute brim with raw uncooked rice. Instead of using a normal flame arati, my mom used this heavy vessel of rice to wave a blessing over me. In ancient Vedic beliefs, raw grain represents pure, unmanifested life force. By waving this abundance in front of a pregnant mother, the family is physically absorbing and pulling away any lingering stress or heavy energy, that's drishti, from the mother's aura. Symbolically, the overflowing grain is a prayer that the child will never know scarcity.
What makes this so beautiful is the continuity. This exact same brass padi and rice will be saved by my mother-in-law. When the baby is finally born and my wife steps across the threshold of our house for the very first time as a new mother, she will perform this exact same Padi Arti to welcome both of them home. It's a gorgeous full circle link between the womb and the world.
With the Iyengar traditions beautifully honored, it was time to strip away the heavy silk, change into a simple cotton sari, and head out for the Mangala Snanam, the auspicious holy bath. Usually, brides and pregnant women wear their heavy wedding or ceremonial kura podavai for this. But my kura podavai is a pure, exquisite silk Kanjipuram pattu, and I absolutely did not want it to get drenched, heavy, or ruined with water. So I opted for a simple cotton sari. To make things extra memorable, it happened to be a freezing cold winter day and a completely rainy morning. Sitting outside in a wet cotton sari while pregnant was definitely an experience.
Now, funny story, a lot of pregnant women playfully tell their husbands not to pour the water directly over their heads because it ruins their makeup and hair.
But honestly, it was such a beautiful, joyful moment of raw family connection that I didn't care about the makeup at all. I told him to just go for it, and it ended up being one of my absolute favorite, most candid clips from the whole video.
Once she dried off, it was time for the grand finale, the core Seemantham rituals. For this, she changed into a traditional 9 yards Kanchi Pattu sari in a striking parrot green. Now, there's actually no traditional ritual rule in my house that says she has to wear green. But green happens to be her absolute favorite color, and she didn't have a 9 yards in that shade yet. Plus, ever since we met, I have always affectionately called her my Meenakshi. And as anyone from Madurai knows, Goddess Meenakshi always wears that gorgeous signature green. So seeing her in this sari felt incredibly full circle and special to me.
This sari holds a far deeper purpose than just being a beautiful outfit. During the ritual, the elders gathered around and tied a sacred knot directly into the sari. Now, this wasn't just a random knot, it was the central tool for the next major ritual called Mookku Puzhiyardhu, which literally translates to squeezing into the nose. They took sprouts and seeds from a sacred fig tree like the banyan or a Moreton bay fig and ground them down by hand on a mortar and pestle with fresh cow's milk. Karthik dipped that specific knot of my sari into this rich herbal milk mix and had me deeply inhale the extract through my right nostril while the priest chanted intense Vedic mantras.
While it looks unique on camera, The ancient Ayurvedic science behind it is incredible. This is a treatment called nasya. In Ayurveda, the nasal passage is the direct gateway to the brain and the central nervous system. The highly concentrated properties of the fig extract combined with nutrient-dense milk are traditionally believed to pass through the blood-brain barrier to calm the mother's nervous system, balance her pregnancy hormones, and support the baby's early neurological brain development. It goes into the right nostril because that activates the Pingala Nadi, the energy channel associated with physical strength and vitality.
What's even more special is the lifelong sentiment behind this cloth. Traditional rules state that I absolutely cannot untie or remove that knot until the baby is safely here in the world. And this sari now becomes my Seemantham sari. Our family tradition is to preserve this exact piece of pure heavy silk so that when the baby is born, they will sleep on this sari first. It's believed that the fabric, having absorbed all the protective Homam smoke, hours of sacred mantras, and maternal energy, acts as a literal shield of peace and familiar comfort for the newborn.
Right after the nasal inhalation, I performed another beautiful, highly symbolic ritual. I took a real sharp porcupine quill and gently traced a line straight up the center partition of her hair. In ancient symbolism, the porcupine is an animal that is fiercely self-protective and sharp. By using its quill, I'm praying that our baby's intellect will be incredibly sharp, focused, and clear. Physically, parting the hair with this specific pressure is believed in ancient acupressure to stimulate the crown chakra, keeping the pregnant mother calm, centered, and peaceful.
वसुदेवतपपाला असुरकुलकाला शशिवदनरुक्मिणी सत्यभामालोला राधा कल्याण वैभोग கல்யாண வைபோகமே. காசு போட்டியா இல்லையா? இல்லைன்னா பாடிட்டே இருக்கணும் நான்.
And with that, the intense, beautiful, and deeply scientific religious rituals of our day were complete. We wrapped up the afternoon with a massive family photo session and a gorgeous traditional feast for all of our guests.
Looking back at the freezing cold rainy morning with the wild nasal drops and all the shared laughter, we are so incredibly grateful we documented these ancient traditions. They don't just celebrate a new baby, they fiercely protect and honor the mother.
Thank you guys so much for watching our journey. Which of these rituals surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in another one. Bye.
Bye.